So there's the boot coming from the airbox here with a screw, and then there's a boot going into, I think this is the reed valve, I'm not an expert, into the cylinder on this side, and there's a screw there that loosens both of those boots up. Once the boots are loosened up, you can get the carburetor to wiggle out, and then you unscrew the top of where the throttle cable comes in, and you can get these hoses with gasoline off. I think I'll do that after I get it out, if I remember the way I usually do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and loosen these screws up. Yeah. They don't need to be too tight. Alright, so you got to get something underneath that piece of metal to kind of back it off. It's a real pain in the butt. How did I do this? In my hands? I don't think so. Oh, okay, I remember. You got to kind of like, you hook down on this corner, peel it away, and kind of walk it around like that. If I remember right. Yeah, there we go. So you'll just keep working it back out like that. And so when you put it back together, try to remember to leave that top, the overlap where the little spring clip comes together, in a place where you can kind of work with it to get it to come down and off. So I try to put the overlap right on the top where I got room to work with it to make it come down and around. Okay, so now you see it's backed off. Then you can just pull the little hose off. They get kind of stuck after a while sitting, but give it a little boost from the end, like work the screwdriver up under it. Maybe not. Let me get something else to pull on it with. I'm gonna try not using it. I don't want to use it. Unless I can get this to start under there. There we go. I think that's in. Yeah. No. It doesn't want to come off. No, it's starting off, but that's a little barb. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's it. And then what I do is I just tuck the hose back under here so it's out of the way. It doesn't get any dust and oil in there. It's getting maybe I roll this whole thing down and around here. I don't know. Just figure out something that works for you. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So don't forget that thing. Then this little, like, I think this is the overflow hose. It just dangles down. You don't have to worry about that. So go back to loosening up on the other side now. So now just loosen up these two kind of like hose clamps that are holding the, I loosen them up like all the way. So there's no chance they're going to be binding up when I'm trying to get this thing to pop out. Because it doesn't come out super easy. Like it's a tight fit. And also, it's going to drip gasoline when you get the fuel hoses off. So, just be aware. Don't get it in your eye. I suppose I could. That's so dusty, I don't want to do that. All right. Now I don't remember if I usually take the hoses off first or after. Let's try taking them off first today. So there's these two little clips here. You see this like little hose clamps, right? So you get those, move them up on the hose somewhere so it'll come off the fitting easily. What I like to do is grab them with the pair of pliers and then move them like that. It's a little annoying. Get those up there. Then, similar to the other side, you want to pop these off. Trying to get this hose off, and it's not wanting to work with me. So, I get this pick here. I tried to dull it up a bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go, that's helping. So now that it's popped off a little bit, get in there with the screwdriver and just help it peel up a little more. Now this one has definitely got gas in it. So yeah, there we go. If I remember right, what I do here is press it to the back of the motorcycle because there's a lot more flex in the airbox boot. You can get a hold of it from both sides. So you're just gonna smush it off to the back. Yeah, like that until it comes around. Then that's it. It'll come out the rest of the way. Now getting it back in, a little trickier, but it's same thing. Okay. Now take the throttle off. Hey, why is that so tight? Dang. Okay, I guess maybe I need the pliers again. I don't know. Just rest this in here. Shit. Get it all out, you know? Okay, there we go. Okay, now remember this thing is spring loaded here, so watch it. Okay. You can just kind of leave that thing dangle there too. So let's get the bowl off and then we get to work on the jets. Okay. Got a lot of dirt. These don't have to be too tight. They don't. This is stuck too, huh? There we go. That's popped up. Down we go. All right, top this pin out. Gotcha. Get you put right back in there. Okay, the thing underneath it is like the retainer for the for the, there we go. Not tight at all, just snug. These are all brass, these are all soft. It's the retainer for the little thing that the needle slides up and down in. I guess it's called the needle jet, and then the needle is just called the needle. I don't know. So let's find the 160. And there you are. First try. This is the 160. And that's it. All that work just to do this. I think somebody smarter than me might be able to figure out how to do this on the motorcycle, but I'm not going to try and do that. So when you tighten this down, just want to get just barely, almost nothing. That should be enough. Okay. Then that's it. Then we put everything back together. I already changed the pilot, so it's good. Now, the floats and the needle here. These little, I don't know if you can see, but on the needle, the curlicues, they're going to go towards the outside of the carburetor, not towards the inside. That's how it comes from the factory. Does it make any difference? I have no idea, but that's how it comes, so I'm just going to do it the same way. So I just kind of take this thing, drop the needle in there, set the floats down. Wait, the floats are upside down. Oopsie. Let's try that again. Come out of there. This whole thing is so fragile. You gotta be careful with all of it. All right, so let's try that again. This thing goes here. The curlicues go to the outside. Just set that gently down in there. Put it like that. Then find the pin. Tuck the pin through. There's nothing that holds the pin in place except the shape of the carburetor. You see this divot here goes around these arms and holds it into place. And that's it. That's it. Then we drop this guy back down on here. Make sure there's nothing obviously dirty. And start putting our little screws back in. Now when you're putting the screws back in, don't forget that this guy goes over here, okay? Yeah. See, one of these screws I bent. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I don't know if I over tightened it or what, but this whole thing is just soft. I think it's this one. This is, I think, the one that I bent. So when I tighten them up, I think you should do it, I think it's best to do them on the like opposite diagonal so that all right, that's it. Now go put it back together, see if it still works. So this slide here has a groove on the one side. You got to line that up with a little peg inside of the carburetor when you're putting it back together. If it doesn't line up, it won't slide in. So don't mess it up. If you can get the back side into the airbox, you're almost there. Then push it back until you can get the front side, and that's it. Boop. Okay, now make sure you got the back side tucked all the way up, all the way around, because you know, you can have it misaligned and then your air is going to be going into the engine without going through the air filter first. And that's not good. So you can get this spring clip or this hose clamp kind of out of the way. Then just make sure it's tucked up tight all the way around and clamp it down. So let's do the top first. Okay. Now the top has a little piece of metal, like a spacer, that keeps you from over tightening it. The back does not. So the back I tighten up all the way. Is that right? I don't know. That's what I do. Tighten up the clamp on the back. Make sure it's in its little seat. Try to tighten it up in a place that's going to be convenient for you when you got to undo it. I like it right over the top so the screw is sticking out 90 degrees. Okay, it's coming up tight. Yeah, and that one closes all the way up. That's it, don't need to over tighten it. Then these hoses just go back on their respective spot. They usually slide on pretty easy. Okay. That's together. Okay, now we're doing the oil supply line on the other side, which just goes on that little barb fitting. Now, you can't get the thing to get on there once it's on there because it's got like a sharp edge and it won't come up over the rubber without catching. So you gotta do this funny thing where you put it like most of the part of the way up onto where it's gonna go over the barb, but not all the way. Then you get it started on there, push the whole thing on there together. Then you kind of seat down. Then you kind of seat down the little the little rubber thing after. It's not great. It's not easy. I'm gonna start over with that one. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. Right. Let's try again. And try to line it up so that this seam lands right on the top so you can work with it when you got to get it apart next time. So let's see. Get started, okay. Get started on there. Then kind of push. Okay, get it seated. Now, to get the little thingy up on there, you got to do the kind of the reverse of when you took it off, which is kind of push and open. It's easier to push it on than it was to get it to start coming off. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Then tuck this back under here where it goes. Yeah. Clamps, clamps, clamp, clamp, this thing, the oiler. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, so that's how you change the jet, the main jet. The pilot was just beside if you need to do that. I don't know enough about it to give more advice on jetting and so forth, so I'm gonna leave that out, and that's it.